Hello, everyone. It is Franco's World, and we are live on Tuesday, August the 20th. I hope you all had a fantastic week last week. I know the show came in a little bit later than normal, but honestly, I thought it was pretty good. We made some jokes, had some laughs, talked about some movies, and it was mostly listener driven. Today's episode will only feature a tiny bit of listener things because we are talking about sports a little bit. We're going to talk about wagering, gambling, betting, a lot of college football. College football is probably my favorite sport to watch outside of baseball, the sport that I work in. So I apologize if you don't like sports. I guess this episode won't be for you, but there'll be jokes and laughs and hijinks all throughout. So remember to tell your friends, family, coworkers, significant others, whoever you think might be interested in some jokes, and send them my way. Okay, remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at francoswood_, and I will see you here in a second. And when I get back, we're gonna delve deep into the college football season. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. We're gonna answer the listener questions first, and then we'll get after it because goodness, I don't know how long this episode is going to be. I feel like I got to talk about the upcoming college football season a long time. Starting out on the topic of sports and wagering and all that stuff, I'd like to first make the comment that I now have a little side deal. With said side deal, I am able to grant you free money. Who does not like free money? If you are interested in possibly making any sort of wager on any sort of sport or political event or anything interesting, I can hook you up. You must contact me via Instagram DM, text me, Twitter DM, whatever, and I can hook you up with a $50 free play bonus. And if you refer any of your friends to me, you in return will get $50 again, and your friend will receive $25. Free play. It's free money. Why would you not take it? You'd be stupid to not to. All right, that's the deal. Now let's get on with the quick responses that I got from people. My cousin who said, does Mike Trout go down in history as greatest player ever? These will be quick answers because I really want to move on to sports or betting or wagering or whatever the heck I was talking about. Jay Bird, does Mike Trout go down? No, he does not. If you want, okay, no, he does not. CP, gambling's for suckers. Prove me wrong. Let me ask you something, CP. Is drinking soda for suckers? Is eating fast foods for suckers? Is drinking alcohol for suckers? I think I already said that. Is putting money into the stock market for suckers? Everything you do in life potentially has a negative effect on your life. And I think here's the thing about putting bets on things. You should not bet money that you don't have. It should be something that you do for fun to make games more interesting. Because Tuesday night MAC football games aren't that interesting unless you have a little side action going on. It shouldn't be used as a form of income. You should not look to it and be like, man, I really need this so I can pay my bills this week. It should be just be something for fun. And if you win, if you get on a little heater, cool, you get to pay for a nice meal. You get to pay for a nice date, a nice night out. That's what it should be for. It should be for fun. It's not for suckers. You can get suckered into it. You can get addicted to it. People get addicted to it, which is never fun. All right, so I am. Will BYU cover against Utah ever again? I hope not, because I am on Utah week 1 -5. I got it under a football number, under 6, and I don't know. Utah, there was a poll that went around that said Utah's coach could beat up any other coach in football. So why would you not want to roll with that? I can't rock with BYU. They got too much pent-up aggression. I think it's like them not being able to have any fun on BYU's campus. So it's like, y'all, they just take it out. That's a dirty team, by the way. Hate me all you want. But they fight and bicker and have extracurricular activities on the field more than any other team I watch. BYU gets a little arrogant sometimes. Their fans are real snobby because, we don't do anything bad. Look at you heathens over there enjoying a tailgate. Yes. Grow up, dude. BYU, no. You're not going to beat them. You're not going to beat Utah this year, especially with the 1-2 punch combo with Tyler Huntley and whatever the running back's name is at Utah. Some people think Utah could win the Pac-12. I don't, but that's neither here nor there. But I do think Utah will cover BYU week 1, -5. That's what I got it at. It could be moving wherever you place your bets. BP, how stoked are you to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch Hawaii game and crush Coronas with your boys? Oh, I'm excited to watch Hawaii football. To the point where I am on the team total over 5.5. Hawaii wins this year. Lock that one in because that's a winner. I'm giving you free winners right here. And I'm going to be on Hawaii plus 11 against Arizona. Khalil Tate last year was a major disappointment. Kevin Sumlin and his swag copter, that fraud. And he was hurt the whole time, and Khalil Tate couldn't do anything unless he can run. How healthy is he this year? Nobody knows. We don't know. They claim he's healthy, but until we see him play, we don't know. So I'm going to take BYU. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take BYU. I'm going to take BYU. I'm going to take Hawaii. I'm going to take Cole McDonald, JoJo Ward, Fred Holley, Nick Rolovich, the coach, the run and shoot offense in Hawaii. I'm going to stay up till 5 in the morning. I already have my schedule for next week for work or for this weekend. I have a 7 o'clock game I have to work on. It probably won't be done till like 10:30, hopefully, if everything ends on time. And then I'm going to get home and immediately go to sleep because I have to be at the office at 7:30 a.m. the next day. The turn and burn, if you will. So I'm not going to get to watch a single second of Hawaii football, but I'll have a little dough on them. I love Hawaii football, man. CH, will Christian Yelich win the NL MVP? Well, the fact of the matter is, the Brewers might not even make the playoffs. So, with that being said, I feel like you kind of have to go a little bit further than just an above 500 year to win MVP. So, I think Bellinger with the Dodgers will win the NL MVP. We are zooming through these. I'm not mad about it. All right. MS, what is your favorite bet? Taking a spread, a money line, an over and under, a first half, a team total. What do you prefer? Well, obviously I'm going to look at spreads first. If I don't like the spread on a team, I'll look at the over and under. If I think a team is really good, but I think the spread is too much, I will either take them first half or I'll just take the team total. But there's nothing sweeter, and I'll tell you this, MS, there's nothing sweeter than betting an underdog team and watching them win outright. So maybe you money line them, or maybe you just take them as the underdog on the spread. But there's nothing sweeter than watching a team just absolutely dominate every aspect of the game as an underdog. It's fantastic. You just got to watch them repeatedly punch teams in the face. It's fantastic, and I love it. So yeah, I'll just say underdog money line. Also because of really good value and really good payout on those. All right. At Dank Dorito, haven't heard much from him in a while. Hope he's doing all right. What school would you commit to for baseball? Vanderbilt or Duke? Well, I'm going to have to go with the Vandy boys just because the history of national championships. Pretty sure they just won it again. So why would you not rock with that? You know, they got a history of winning. So I'm going to roll with Vandy, the Vandy boys. Anchor down. Plus, I'm not a big Duke guy. I think I have a couple friends that, or maybe just one friend, that has an affiliation with the university. Nothing against them. But I'm not a Duke guy. I think if the thing about Duke, anything, oh, by the way, I'm taking Duke plus like 36 against Bama week 1 because I'm an idiot. The thing about Duke and Duke athletics, hardly anybody has affiliation with them and chooses to be a fan of them. That bothers me. And they're kind of like the white collar, like they're like the villain, you know, but they're the white collar villain. They're not like a dirty, dark villain like I don't know who would be a good villain team that I'm trying to think of. Maybe UNLV back in the day. I don't know. Who would be a villain team now that's like the dirty, like not like the dirty, but just like the blue collar, I guess, if I'm comparing collars. I don't know. I don't know. Blue collar team that would be a pesky team. I'm actually having difficult. Maybe some other time I'll figure that out. Okay. They're the white collar team, and it's like, oh man, the privileged folk win again. Rats. It's hard to cheer for them. They have this history of constantly beating teams to sleep. It's always fun to see them get upset in their little gym for ants. I don't know. I just can't cheer for Duke anything, if I'm being honest. Can't cheer for Duke anything. SB, best sports movie. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, here's the deal. I love the movie Moneyball. I work in baseball. I work with analytics in baseball. Obviously, I like the movie Moneyball. I remember when that team was actually playing the Oakland A's in the early 2000s, and the book talks about it more than the movie does, but they had the best pitching staff in baseball. Barry Zito, Tim Hudson. Who else was there? Mulder? I don't remember who else was there. There was another arm there. It was really good. Maybe Mark Mulder. I also could be wrong. But they don't talk about that in the movie. They act like Oakland had just come off an amazing season. They're acting like it was this miraculous thing that they won, that they made it as far as they did and went on the streak. 20 games, 21 games. All right? They were an amazing team. And the only thing that they did was just like buy a couple of free agents just to play like bench spots. They didn't I liked the movie. Mostly because Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill's performances were so convincing. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in the movie. He did a good job, even though he portrayed the manager wrong. The manager was actually on the side of implementing the data analytics. They made him look like a bad guy. I like the movie Moneyball. It's my favorite. Also, I like Remember the Titans. I like how we can unite this semi-racist small town of Virginia via football. Gary Bertier, Julius Campbell, Sunshine, The Rev, Lastic. I'm just naming people in the movie. I like the scene when the big guy, Lastic, is like singing soul music at the lunch table when they're in camp. That scene is funny to me. I don't know. I don't know. The basketball movies, I can't really think of anything. Not a Hoosiers guy. The movie Miracle's pretty good. I don't even like hockey. Mostly because it's a real life thing. See, that's the thing. Sports movies, let's make it a real life thing. I like when the things actually happen. See, I don't like the movie Trouble with the Curve. That stuff didn't happen. And that stuff wouldn't happen. Some old guy, the Clint Eastwood, I can see his arm. He doesn't got it. All right, thanks. You can't even drive. How are you supposed to see a curveball? Moneyball's got to be my favorite sports movie. That's like one of the few movies I actually own still. That's one of the few movies I remember. What was it? I don't even think I watched it in theaters. I just remember. Yeah, no, I watched it on a random Sunday after church. I think I talked about that in an episode in the past, and I was like, "Wow, it's crazy." Because I remember so here's like the nerd in me. I used to have a lot of baseball cards growing up, and I went through them. I had a lot of time to kill after I graduated, and I started my job in February. So I graduated in December. I had like a month off. And so I went through all my old baseball cards, and I found the entire roster of the Oakland A's Moneyball team. And they even had like a picture of like the team together after they hit that home run to break the record with Scott Hatteberg. And I even had a card of the GM Billy Beane. I don't know how I had these things, but I did. I even had guys that they picked up mid-season, like Ray Durham. I guess I just loved the Oakland A's for some reason in 2001, 2002. I had their top draft pick that year, their number one draft pick. They had a ton of draft picks that year because they took advantage of the system. Because they knew it's like, hey, we got to draft guys who are undervalued so we don't get to pay him as much, so we get to draft more people. It's a whole thing. But the number one draft pick that year was Nick Swisher from Ohio State. Guess where Nick Swisher's from? Where? My hometown, Parkersburg, West Virginia. I actually met him a few times. Seemed like an all right guy. Yeah, Nick Swisher. Have his autograph multiple times. Multiple accounts of the autograph. That's how much in love with that Oakland A's team I was. But anyway, moving on. The next two questions come to us from JW. JW asks a two-parter here. Opinions on AB, Antonio Brown, or as people in Pittsburgh like to say, Antonio Brown. Going downtown to watch Stillers. Sorry, downtown. Antonio Brown. Okay, if he wants to wear a helmet that's gonna obliterate his skull, let him. I think there's enough information out there, and there's enough stuff that the players know what they're signing up for. If they want to make sacrifices like that, then fine. I think it's stupid. I think it's kind of a diva move to be complaining about a helmet. Okay, the helmet's from like 2009 or 2011. Just wear a newer helmet. Really not that hard. Goodness. I played football once, 1 year. I rarely wore my helmet. That's not because it wasn't uncomfortable. It's because I didn't need to. Stood on the sidelines a lot. Listen, AB. Also, if you're going to do the cryotherapy, maybe wear shoes. If you're doing cryotherapy, you have to wear shoes. Every video I've ever seen of people doing it, they have stuff over their feet. Maybe it's like really thermal socks or boots or something like that. And he goes in there into the freezing Arctic of this machine, this robot, and he gets his feet mangled with frostbite. What are you doing? It makes zero sense to me. Let Antonio Brown do whatever he wants to do. I could care less. I love watching it on Hard Knocks every Tuesday, which I will watch later today because that comes out tonight. Let him do what he wants. I really don't care. Also, here's the question. If you were a GM for an NFL team, who would you build it around? If you're asking me a single player I would build it around, I have no idea. I'm assuming I'll probably do a quarterback. Here we go. I'm going to get Patrick Mahomes. There you go. That's who I'm going to build my team around. A dynamic quarterback who has a rocket arm and can move around with his legs. And I don't act like I know things about football because I don't. Or things about like the NFL. But I'd probably build around Patrick Mahomes, and then I'd get like a left tackle, like who would be an awesome left tackle to build around that's not incredibly old. Oh, I don't know. The left tackle for the Rams is really good, but I know he's old. And then I'd probably get a middle linebacker to build around on defense. Or maybe a crazy defensive end, like Aaron Donald, or D tackle. Yeah, I'd get Aaron Donald to build around on defense. Get some push up front. Dude, sign me up. The Miami Dolphins. Give me a call. Look at that. I just built a team for you. There you go. Hey, Miami Dolphins, how come you just don't get guys like Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Donald? Boom, that's easy. Yeah, you can totally do that, right? You can just take people. Yeah. All right. That'll do it from the responses. And it looks like we're going to have about 10, 15 minutes to talk about college football bets, college football, the upcoming season. We'll talk about West Virginia, obviously, just because, I'm affiliated with them. And, yeah, we'll just talk about the upcoming week 1, week 0, team totals, a couple of team totals that I love. Make sure you get your picks in. And also, if you're interested in placing any wagers, make sure to contact me, and I can hook you up with $50 to play around with. Must be 18 or older and have an income, because I don't want you to spend money that you don't have. Okay. All right, starting out, let's talk about the Mountaineers, shall we? Here's some news for you. I will be in attendance. I'm making the road trip from where I am in Pennsylvania all the way down to Morgantown. I'm going to turn back the clock and relive my glory days as a college student on High Street. I might die. I'm not built like I once was. But I'm going to go to the James Madison game because that might be one of the only games we win all season. the rankings just came out for the 1AA FCS division and D1 football. James Madison is the number 2 team in the country for the lower level Division 1 football. Yikes. West Virginia opened up at 5.5-point favorites against the, I guess they're the Bulldogs. They're some sort of dog. That's going to be tough. I don't know if West Virginia covers that. But the good news is, breaking news today, literally just now breaking, and we broke earlier this morning, Jarrett Dagey, the transfer from Bowling Green, has been granted a waiver from the NCAA and is immediately eligible to play. I think he's going to play. He's got more experience than Jack Allison, Trey Lowe, Austin Kendall combined. Threw for 1 billion yards, a ton of touchdowns, and minimal interceptions at Bowling Green. Yes, it is Bowling Green. But the fact that they didn't win a lot of games. But the fact that he can put up those numbers with the talent that he had around him is a good sign. Now, I don't know how much time he's going to have to prepare for James Madison, considering the season starts on the 31st, and it is now the 20th. That's a few weeks away. Hopefully he gets enough reps with the first team so that he can lead the Mountaineers to a 5-win season. God, I hope they win at least 5. If they somehow win 6, you guys, West Virginia fans, have to unite and just be over the moon. Just throw all the money in the world at Neil Brown, because this team, woof. And it's no offense to the players. It's not their fault. You had your top 2 safeties leave right before summer for different reasons. And you have to replace amazing receivers like Sills and Jennings and Sims. You have to replace tight ends like Wesco, and I don't think Haskins is going to be able to play. You have to replace the center and Matt Jones. You have to replace Will Greer. Hello? That's going to be difficult. There's so many moving parts with this Mountaineer team, and anything above, I'd be cool with 4 wins. I'd be realistically, you're going to win 4 games, I think. You're going to beat Kansas State. You're going to beat Kansas. Hopefully you beat James Madison, and then maybe you luck into one against, I don't know, Texas Tech or TCU. You just luck into one of those somehow. 4 games is a very realistic number. It's not out of the question. Okay, that's it on Mountaineer football. The over-under is 5, so take what you will. So let's go through a couple of things here, and this is the gambling segment. Remember, don't spend any money you don't have, but the less you bet, the more you lose when you win, as my man Bear likes to say. So starting off, here's some team totals that I like. Feel free to do your own research, and you might not even like football if you're listening to this, but if you like money, maybe find someone who's going to take some action for you and get a little chunk of change. I like UCLA under 5.5. I really don't think that they're going to improve as much as, I don't know, they're not going to have this incredible turnaround. I know that much. If you hear any rustling, it's me opening up my one of my magazines so I can tell you who they play this year. My goodness, the Pac-12 is in the back. Ugh. 1 second. Also, Colorado football, yikes. Arizona State's going to win more than 7 games this year, so take that over. I love Herm. Herm Edwards is the man. Okay, here it is. UCLA under 5.5. Here's why. They're going to go to Cincinnati. They're 3-point underdogs at Cincinnati. They're going to lose. They're going to lose at Cincinnati. They're going to beat San Diego State, lose Oklahoma, lose at Washington State. At Arizona is not going to be easy, but I'll give them a win. And they're going to beat Oregon State. So there's 3 wins right there. They're going to lose to Stanford, lose to Arizona State, beat Colorado, lose to USC, lose to Utah, and they win at Cal, or they win at home against Cal at the end of the year. That's 5. San Diego State, Arizona, Oregon State, Colorado, California. It's at plus odds. It's like plus 110. Under 5.5 UCLA. I'm giving you guys free money. I already told you Hawaii over 5.5. And here's another one I'm going to give you. Arizona over 7. Those are 3 ones right there. I have UConn under 2.5. I got some new information that says that might not be a good move. Too late. I already booked it. Here's one for you. I have Pitt under 6 because obvious reasons. I have Air Force under 7.5 at -115. Not a lot of juice there. I don't know. I mean, I think the Falcons, Air Force. I mean, you don't want to cheer against an academy for obvious reasons, but it's a fact of the matter. Them winning 8 games is going to be difficult. Like let's read off this schedule right here. The Air Force Falcons, they do have 16 returning starters. Okay, they got 16 returning starters. They're coming off a year where they went, I don't know, how'd they do last year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They won 5 games last year, and they're supposed to win 8 this year? Come on. They beat Colgate. They play at Colorado and at Boise State. I'm going to give Colorado a win right there. There's 2 losses. Play San Diego State. Again, not an easy team to play against. At Navy, that's always going to be hard. You're going to play Fresno State. That's a loss. You're going to go to the Big Island. You got to play at Hawaii. That's another one. Utah State. That's a loss. Army. That's a loss. New Mexico and Colorado State wins. And you know what? At the end of the year, I'll just give you a Wyoming win. There's like 5 wins right there. I don't see. How are you going to tell me the Air Force is going to win 8 games? It's bananas. Bananas. Okay, let's see here. We got 4 minutes left. Let me read some other ones. Everyone loves ECU over 4.5, but I can't find it without a lot of juice on it, which means you see the number in parentheses on games and stuff like that. You see like in parentheses it'll be like -105 or -170. That's the juice. So the higher that is minus, the less value it is. So you want to try to find some plus money ones, which is why I gave you UCLA, which is why I'm about to give you this other one I'm going to give you here in a second. I don't like picking ones with a lot of juice. I mean, I know it's going to be a winner, but I don't have the capital to be able to replace the juice that's given. I'm not going to put thousands of dollars on a thing. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Let's see. Some people like Wake Forest over 6. I do, but I'm not going to play it. I love their quarterback, Sam Hartman, if he gets to start. I don't know if he will, though, because they're in a quarterback battle. Let's see here. Northern Illinois under 6.5. That's one that's popular right now. Virginia over 7.5. Bryce Perkins, their quarterback, is the man. Let's see here. Nebraska under 8.5. Florida under 9. Texas State over 4.5 is another popular pick that I'm probably going to make. My boy Jake Spavital going out to San Marcos, which I heard was a really good time. They got a quarterback transferred in from Montana, and the new OC they brought in was his OC at Montana. So there's going to be a connection there, and I think they're just going to sling the rock and put up points in the Sun Belt, the Fun Belt, if you will. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 more. Bowling Green under 3. It's going to be hard for them to beat they had 3 wins last year, and they're losing their quarterback. He just said Jarrett Dagey, the guy that's at West Virginia now. That was their quarterback. He left. It's going to be hard for them to beat more than 3. The MAC is up for grabs this year. Ohio, I really want Ohio to win it. They're favored to win it, I think. Toledo's a good team, and Western Michigan's also a good team. The MAC and the Conference USA are going to be so tight. If Marshall and Ohio, they have to play each other. Not that it matters. It's non-conference, but those are 2 group of 5 teams with talent. Isaiah Green, the quarterback from Marshall, he got thrown into the fire last year, and he showed signs of maturity. He showed some, I don't know, he looked like he had some real stuff going on. So I think that's obviously going to be much improved. Marshall's defense was the key last year, I'm pretty sure. And hopefully that just remains the same. Obviously, with Doc Holliday, every special teams unit is going to be up to snuff. But Ohio actually has the best specialists in the country, according to Phil Steele, the magazine. They have the best specialist group in the country. Here's some tiny teams that you could find some value on. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. They got a good offensive line group and a good running back group. Just the group, like there are multiple people, obviously, so the whole group is solid. And let me think. Okay, here it is. The pick that I'm going to give you to close out the show. You could run this to me because I can give you information to the thing and you'll be good and you'll get money. It's free money. Here is the pick. And let me turn to the right page so I can read you the schedule. It comes to us from the ACC, the Atlantic Coastal Conference. It is going to be North Carolina under 4.5 at plus 120. What? North Carolina? Yeah, North Carolina. Now, let me get to the right page. Doggone it. This magazine's so beat up. I've just been carrying it around, reading it every chance I get. I actually picked up a new magazine yesterday, too, at Barnes & Noble. When I went in there, this old gambler was picking it up at the same time, and I go, nice choice. And he goes, yeah, I'm trying to pick some winners this year. And I'm just like, well, if you need winners, give me a call. And he's like, all right, I might do that. Yeah, good luck this year. Really old school guy. Nice dude. All right, North Carolina under 4.5. They are returning 12 starters. There's news today. I just got news from my roommate that they're going to be starting a true freshman or maybe a redshirt freshman. Either way, it is some sort of freshman at quarterback. Yikes. Okay, first game. You're going to play South Carolina. That's a neutral site game in Charlotte. That's a loss. Second game, Miami, loss. Third game, at Wake Forest. I'm going to give Wake Forest a win. I love Wake Forest football. Fourth game, you play App State, who arguably is one of the best teams in the group of 5. I think App State wins like 10 games this year. Zach Thomas, their quarterback, is legit. The game is in Chapel Hill, though. It's not in Boone, but that doesn't matter. You don't progress with Mac Brown, who I know coached there many moons ago, but how is he supposed to be some sort of guru? I know he brought in Phil Longo, who's an offensive genius, but I just don't see it happen. They're trying to go the Arizona State route where they get a CEO head coach with unique coordinators to liven it up. Then they play Clemson. That's a loss. At Georgia Tech, I'll give you the win. At Virginia Tech, I'm going to give you a loss there. Play Duke. That's a loss. Virginia, loss. At Pitt, loss. Mercer, win. And NC State to close the year out. You know what? Why don't they mess around and somehow win that thing? 4 wins max. 4 wins max. No way. I am putting it to the moon. This is it. I'm proclaiming to the gambling gods, North Carolina will not win 5 games this year. There is no way, no how, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Remember, if you want to place any wagers, come talk to me. I'll hook you up. That was the show today. I enjoy talking about this stuff. I don't talk about it a lot, but that's the way it goes. So in the meantime, you keep taking care of yourself and keep all those questions coming, because I read them every day or every show. And remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at francosworld_. And I thank you from the middle of my heart for listening to today's episode. I will see you when I see you. Hawaii plus 11 week 0. Have a great one, folks. Goodbye.